Hi, and welcome to another episode of the State 48 Community Corner. I'm your host, Zach Hall, and today we're going to learn more about LLS Arizona, the fundraising things they do in our community, and the impact they have here in Arizona. Let's go ahead and head inside. All right, we're with Jim Brewer, the executive director here of LLS Arizona. Thanks so much for having us.
Pleasure to be here.
As you can see from the shirt and the collaboration, we're excited to be a part of this. So many great things are happening here at LLS. Would you mind telling us a little bit about everything going on?
Yeah, so the Leukemia Lymphoma Society is the world's largest voluntary health agency that's dedicated to eradicating blood cancers. We do this primarily by raising money to invest in research, to develop new therapies and life-saving options for our patients, but we also work to raise money to provide patient support and serve as advocates, the voice for our patients as well when it comes to legislation or regulation too.
That's awesome. So how long have you been with LLS?
I've been here, let's see, about 8.5 years now.
Okay.
So and it's amazing because when I first joined, we were still raising money and there was a lot of progress being made, and we might have 2 or 3 new drugs that were approved by the FDA in a given year, and we'd be celebrating. And just to let you know, in the last 3 years, we've had 51 new drugs approved. So the pace is rapidly changing, and we're seeing more and more new treatments come out, which is just great for our patients.
Well, the fun part about being in his office is if you look around, there's Diamondback stuff, there's Sun stuff, and through all of our collaborations, it's a big part of our business. It's about the things we do with the Suns and the Diamondbacks,
Right.
but they're great community partners too.
Absolutely.
Is that something that led you to working at LLS?
Yeah, so I was part of the Suns organization for a number of years, and I worked with Jerry Colangelo, and I was part of Suns Charities, and I really enjoyed the aspect of having an impact in the community. And I kind of credit Jerry with that outlook that I've been able to kind of grow up with, that, hey, it's a good thing to come into work every day making an impact. We were able to do that as part of sports and being able to see people enjoy what you're doing, but also through the community relations and the foundations, and the Diamondbacks Foundation is a wonderful support of ours as well. But knowing that you have that opportunity to make a difference and seeing that every day, yeah, definitely resonated with me and what's led me to become involved with LLS.
A lot of these community corners, we're always getting into storytelling, whether it's at the food bank or the shelter, or even here at LLS. Everyone's got an Arizona-based story, and that's why here at State 48, it's Arizona-based stories.
Right, yeah.
And so in doing that, what brought you to State 48?
Well, first of all, I'm a 4th-generation Arizonan, so I'm all about Arizona too.
Yeah.
But we had a great volunteer, Tim Regan. He had a relationship with State 48, and he said, I think there's something we could do with these guys. I knew the brand. I'd seen the brand. I'm very familiar with the brand, and I know that they work with a lot of other organizations, a lot of other entities, and we thought that this is great. Let's take a look at this, see how we can make it work. So great to work with. Great stuff.
Good looking shirt.
It's so funny because so many of our people now, especially if we have a casual day, we're not casual every day, but when we do, you see a lot of these shirts in the office.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see them. I saw them down. We just had an event this past weekend. I saw a few people wearing those, and I know we'll see a whole lot more as we carry on too. So it's great partnership, and it's all about it's about Arizona for me. Everything for me is about Arizona. I'm born and raised, and so to be able to partner with a brand that celebrates Arizona is terrific.
Well, our challenge to you, we do this Hump Day Hero thing. So we need to see how far can one of these LLS shirts go. We've had them in Italy, we've been in Mexico, we've been in Canada, we've been in UK. So that's your challenge, to see how far the shirt can go.
I'll take it with me to Berlin in the spring. How about that?
Okay,
that'll
be
get it
great.
on social for you.
We'd love to see it. It's just incredible. Whenever I travel or anybody else, you get to see just the passion behind Arizona. All right, so we're here with Tim Regan as we talk about getting involved on the board. So first off, Tim, thank you so much for having us here today.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And most importantly, thanks for your service here with LLS. It's a pretty incredible organization, as we've learned. But talk a little bit about your involvement.
Absolutely. So last year, I was invited to participate in what's called the Executive Challenge for Light the Night, which is LLS's signature fundraising campaign. It's held in pretty much every major metro area. We were fortunate enough last year to raise almost $900,000. And so the reason why I got involved is, as a young man, I was touched by blood cancer. I had an uncle who was diagnosed with leukemia, and he passed away within 7 days. Like, it was very, I mean, it was shocking. There's no other way to say it. It hit the family hard, and so I've donated to them in some level over the years. Somebody asked me to get involved, and I jumped at the chance to do it. They're a great organization to work with, provide a lot of support to their volunteers and fundraisers, try to put the fun in fundraising a little bit, and they give back. That was the other thing that I was looking for, is they put their money where their mouth is. They've been a part of 44 or 45 of 51 FDA-approved blood cancer treatments by the FDA in the last couple of years. So, I mean, when you see that from a nonprofit, you can't do anything but be impressed and want to be a part of the solution. Cancer is something that unfortunately touches way too many people, and so I wanted to be involved, and I wanted to make as big of an impact as I could.
All right, so you talk about the executive challenge. You know, how did you get involved? Did somebody else tell you about the executive challenge?
So I have a business partner who invited me, who was also going to participate, and said, hey, why don't you come and join, check this out. Got in touch with LLS. One of the campaign managers, Edith, came out to my office. We got to talking, and literally before she finished her spiel, I was like, yes, I want to do this. First of all, I'm competitive by nature, playing sports my whole life.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get involved, and it just really sounded like a great way to honor my uncle, one, and two, help create advancements and hopefully more positive outcomes for other families, because families all over the country, all over the world are hearing you have cancer, your loved one has cancer, and I just really wanted to give back in a way that could hopefully solve some of those things for them.
So you said this was your first year. I've been fortunate enough to go the Light the Night Walk for many years, working for different sports teams here in their valley. What was your very first time at the Light the Night Walk like?
Well, it was last year, last November, and I was just blown away by how many people were there, how connected they were, how friendly they were, how thankful they were when they knew that I was a part of the fundraising team. And it's an awesome experience. If you haven't done it, it is so worth a few hours of your time to go out there and experience it, talk to people in your community, and then obviously the survivor circle, when all the cancer survivors get together and they have a moment there, it's, I mean, it's touching. It's very touching.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being with us today.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
You know, we've talked a lot about the Light the Night Walk. This is the one big event of the year, but getting involved with LLS Arizona is not just one night a year. Talk about what you guys do year round.
So we have a lot of different kind of what we call them our signature fundraising campaigns. Light the Night is our single biggest event, but we also have our Man and Woman of the Year campaign, where you have community leaders that commit to raising money for 10 weeks. We have our Students of the Year campaign, which is the high school version of that. So we have 16, 17-year-olds that are raising money and learning all about what we do and making an impact. We have our school-based fundraising program, which is called Pennies for Patients, and that operates through the entire school year. We work with about 500 to 600 schools in Arizona, so thousands of students, thousands of families, they're all raising money. And then Team in Training was kind of our original signature campaign, which was the very first charity endurance fundraising program. So you're training for a marathon or a triathlon or whatever it might be, raising money while you do that. So that's the fundraising piece. And then the other piece is that we have educational programs, we have events for our patients. We make sure that, let's be honest, the difference that's going to be made is going to be based on money. It takes money for the research to bring the new therapies. It takes money to support patients, to help them with their financial challenges, and that's part of what we do too. And so we're on a year-round basis. We're partnering with our healthcare providers. We're reaching out to patients. We're helping them when they reach out to us. And so it's 365, 24/7, because I tell you what, our patients don't ever get a day off, and so neither do we.
So you talked about three things there I kind of want to break down.
Here.
If I'm a patient, what kind of support can you provide and how do I get in touch?
So there's a few different ways that we provide support. One is we provide the latest, greatest information on whatever their specific diagnosis might be. We have an information resource center which provides call-in, email-in, online chat support, plus a variety of different materials and a lot of stuff that is on our website that can help them be informed patients or caregivers, and that's an empowered patient or caregiver. The more you know about your treatment, your disease, the better off you're going to be as you're going through your journey. So we have that. And then we do have in-person educational programs. We have webinars. We have podcasts. Everybody's got podcasts.
Everybody does.
And so that helps make sure that patients are well informed. And then we have this other layer of support because unfortunately, a cancer diagnosis isn't only a physical challenge and an emotional and psychosocial challenge, it's often a financial challenge. And so we still do provide direct financial aid to help with out-of-pocket expenses related to medications, to insurance premiums, to travel. In Arizona alone in 2018, we distributed right around $2 million to Arizona patients to help with all of those expenses.
Wow.
And so, again, it's the holistic view of when somebody's diagnosed with blood cancer, they're in the middle of their battle because there's no early detection, there's really no prevention yet. And so if they're diagnosed, they need to have options for treatment. So we're working to do that. But then while they're in the middle of all that, they need a layer of support that we try and provide in a very robust way. And so it's the financial, it's the educational, it's the support of the community that we bring together. That it's all about, again, patients at the center and making sure that they feel supported and that they have help during their journey.
So while that is on the patient side, you talk about raising money and awareness. So time, talents, and treasures. You got a guy like Tim coming and getting involved, joining the board. Let's talk to everybody out there that's looking to get involved. How do I volunteer? How do I join the board? How do I give? How do I impact?
So the best way is to visit our website and lls.org/Arizona gets you right to our Arizona page, and there will be a link that will tell you, interested in volunteering, click here.
Yeah.
And we have a list of all the different opportunities to volunteer, including everything from coming in and helping us stuff envelopes in the office. Mm-hmm. We absolutely need that help, to becoming a volunteer leader by joining the executive committee for any of our fundraising campaigns or joining our board of trustees. We need that help through the entire continuum of that volunteer service. And so if you're interested in joining our board and you really want to make a bigger impact and help us grow our reach into the community, absolutely go on there, take a look, and you can reach out directly to me.
Yeah.
I'm easy to find, jim.brewer@lls.org, and we'd be happy to talk to you about that. But if you go and it's pretty easy to connect with the different opportunities that we have to help.
That's awesome. So talk about social. Let's get them. You give them the website. So let's do that one more time. What's the website? What kind of social media have you guys got? And how can I listen to the podcast?
So the podcasts are all on lls.org. Okay. I couldn't tell you exactly the path to get there, but it's probably pretty easy to find. We are very active on Facebook and getting more active on Instagram.
Great.
Our Facebook page is pretty active, and we're pretty easy to find. I think it's LLSAZ, if I'm not mistaken, or AZLLS, I forget because I've got it all bookmarked. Mm-hmm. And we post all of the things about our events, our educational programs, volunteer opportunities. That all goes out on there, as well as on Instagram too. So come on, interact with us, and that's just for us here locally. And there's a whole nother layer of social interaction that you can have, especially if you're a patient or a caregiver, through our LLS community, which you can find on our lls.org website. And that's a national kind of social platform specifically built for patients and caregivers, so they can share information, they could be talking to each other too. Awesome. So there's a lot of different ways to interact that way.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, this has been another episode of the State 48 Community Corner. We're learning about LLS Arizona, the Light the Night Walk, and all the amazing things they do here in the Valley. As you can see, another great collaboration. If you have an idea for a collaboration, if you want us to get involved with your nonprofit, with your business, with your school, check us out, State 48, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, state48.com. We're looking for more collaborators. 2020 is coming. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.